I'm
Awesome.
curious. One question you posed to us. What was your kind of um, moment of, I guess, your red pill?
That's a good story. So maybe we can close on that story. Actually, my personal red pill before I used the term, of course, was actually it was John Kerry. So this was 2004. And at the time, I kind of already, dropped out of Silicon Valley to start building Urbit, basically. And, at the time I had, you know, considerably less than fuck you money, but I also, could afford to. I was like, basically, I'm going to do essentially an independent PhD thesis and, do some real computer science on my own without a fucking advisor. And wow, I made a little money in the dot-com boom and I can do this, right? And so I was working on Urbit, but I was also learning like Austrian economics and stuff. And this is where my questions started to arise. So kind of the boring answer is that I was first reading Mises, and then I started reading, then I read Hans Hermann Hoppe's book on, democracy, the God that failed. Pretty good book. But sort of Mises was the gateway drug for that, definitely. But that wasn't really my oh my god moment. My oh my god moment was John Kerry. So at the time, I was also, I guess, while I still had a job in the old .com world, I'd started reading like, Instapundit, Powerline, just like really solid, genteel, lawyerly, like conservative neocon blogs. You know those blogs, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I love the old Powerline guys. I mean, they're so sweet, right? And they're
It's
so
weird going
sharp.
back to unqualified reservations, and you talk about some of these old, like, they're antiquated
Yeah.
blogs.
Yeah. Well, you can still read Powerline. There's plenty of good material. You want to read about impeachment, Powerline will make your day with their impeachment links, right? So any case, but these guys are very much, they're like, I think they had some Claremont involvement. They're kind of mainline intellectual conservatives, right? And they were blogging, and it was 2004, so this was still kind of a fairly new thing, right? Political blogging. Wow. The blogosphere. Remember the blogosphere?
Yeah.
Halcyon days.
Halcyon days. These were the halcyon days of the blogosphere. And so, and Twitter didn't exist. And the in this beautiful environment, the thing was that the blog news cycle moved a little bit faster than the real news cycle. And so they found out things more quickly. And one of the things they found out was that John Kerry, who had been selected already as the Democratic presidential candidate, had exaggerated his Vietnam record, and had in fact made up stories about being on patrol in a swift boat in Cambodia, which could never have happened, and no one who knows anything about the period thinks it could ever have happened. He was just embroidering, right? And of course, this is completely consistent with his role in life as a pompous fart. Before he was a pompous old fart, he was a pompous young fart. So basically, the internet established this for me without any doubt, sort of long before, like days before it was mentioned in the media, right? So you had the situation where it was like, now when the internet comes up with, some piece of fake news or disinformation like this, there is an immediate response to it. But that wasn't the case back then. And so and that made this sort of thing a lot less contentious. It was just like, you looked at this evidence and you're like, yeah, there's no way he obviously just made crap up, right? And so I looked at this and I was like, holy cow, the internet has just cracked the biggest political story ever. And I was so naive. My God. I was like, what are the Democrats going to do? Like, they can't possibly run this guy who like lied about his war record. Like, that's just like, I can't imagine reading in a history book that happened. How did this can't fit into the narrative? How are they going to even fit this into this reality, into the story, right? Maybe they'll hold another convention, and I mean, they have to be able to. What if he died, right? They have to be able to do something if he died. Well, but this is like death. Like, the American people, the greatest generation, is going to elect a guy who told war stories, and so I had no idea of basically the way the world worked. And so, at the time, of course, you're reading Instapundit and Powerline, and you're like, the media is biased. The media is biased, right? And to even say the media is biased, right, you have to accept this frame of where there's this shadowy institution which is somehow not part of the government yet above the government, which is objective and it's sitting in judgment overall, but somehow because of the wisdom of crowds it's completely objective, right? And you have to believe this machine works. And so then you're like, okay, this machine is biased. And what you're saying when you're saying it's biased is you're like, basically, it's missing on some cylinders, right? It's not like this is an engine of like, you don't realize the true extent of the problem. And so essentially, I looked at kind of media bias at that time as something that was sort of correctable, could be looked past. And most importantly, I looked at it as something that had limited power. I looked at it as kind of a skin disease. And so what I didn't expect, I basically kind of lost my illusions about both sides in one moment. So what I didn't realize is that I had only seen the volume on this megaphone turned up to like, I thought I'd seen it turned up to like at least 7 or 8, but I'd only actually seen it at 1 or 2. And so what happened was very, very simple. What happened was they just turned it into 11, and they were like, no problem. We're going to add a new word to the English language. This word will be swift boating. This word will refer to the shaming for political reasons of a great American hero who's being shamed with lies by the internet. And we're going to call that's a new phenomenon, and we're going to call it swift boating.
That is...
And I'm just like, holy mother of God. It's like you're watching like a soccer game. You guys watch soccer? My son is a huge soccer player. I mean, he's not huge, but he's very good. But you watch the soccer game. They have these cards they use. They got the red card, you got the yellow card, right? Imagine you're watching a soccer game, and you're like this. So obviously the referee's like the media. The referee's completely fair. You're watching a soccer game, and suddenly, a player on the field dives. Like it's obviously a dive. The referee comes over, blows the whistle, and shows a card to the player, who the guy who dived is pretending who fouled him. Okay, the guy, the referee not only believes the dive, shows this guy a card, and it's a card you've never seen before. It's actually the black card. And the black card, what is the black card? I've never seen a black card. Well, what the black card means is the referee pulls out his Glock and fucking executes you right there on the field. And then basically, 2 or 3 players immediately come running over and complain. They get the black card too. They're shot. The line judge, whoever the guy on the side is, come out. They drag the bodies off. Your team was winning 4-2. You're like, this guy's going to get a red card for diving. Instead, 3 of your guys get the black card. Your team was winning 4-2. Then now you're playing with 8 players, so you lose like 16-4, right? And then you're like, now your response to this spectacle could be a lot of different things. But like, I think the response of any sane person is going to be, I don't know what I was just watching, but it was definitely not a soccer game, right? And so the thing is, when I saw basically this maneuver, what really just completely disconnected me. I mean, it's not like I already had faith in the acuity of the integrity of the prestigious media, but what amazed me most was the response by Powerline, because basically I expected these Powerline Instapundit people to be like, okay, mask off. We see that like, hey, whatever this was not a soccer game. Yesterday we played our last day of soccer. I don't know what the new game is, but I guess we'll figure it out. And this would have been the logical thing to do. And the non-logical thing to do would be to get right back to playing soccer. And of course, that's exactly what they did, right? And so, because once you've seen, the referee do that, and not actually the referee gets a medal, he's like awarded referee of the year, right? Once you've seen the referee do that, okay, you never see the black card again, but you don't have to. You're like, okay, whatever this is, it's something else that's pretending to be a soccer game. And so what you see is these people see perfectly well in front of their faces that this is something else that's pretending to be a soccer game, and then they go right back to playing soccer. And I'm just like, no, I don't know what I just saw, but this is not a soccer game, and never in my life again will I ever treat it as a soccer game, because it is not a soccer game.
And Moldbug was born.
Yeah, that's an incredible.
Somewhat later, but I mean, that's absolutely what happened. I haven't even improved it. So, all right. Well, we should spare our listeners here. There'll be another time to do something fun like this, but it was
I really hope so.
Yeah, once we finish up the clear pill, we'll have to go over it.
Yeah. We'll have to go over it in retrospect. All right. Well,
thanks so much, Moldbug. Thanks a lot,
Curtis. This was
You're
really...
welcome. Well, wait. I have one question for you. Should I publish under my own name, or should I publish as Moldbug? I've rethought
your
that.
own name.
I'm still thinking
I think
about it.
I think
you've
your own
evolved
name
from
is good,
Moldbug.
because this is exactly what I'm saying. You're Ashraw now. You're not Ashraw Temple anymore. You're Ashraw.
Yeah. No, I think you're right about that. But people will still call me Ashraw. But yes, I did intend to do the Gandalf the White thing. So we'll see where that leads us. There's definitely there's more new material to be revealed. So in case
Everyone's
exciting.
Everyone is already on it, but if you haven't checked it out, Moldbug, Curtis has some new stuff on American Mind.
There you go. That's perfect. All right, guys. Well, this has been super fun, and we'll do it again sometime.
Thanks so much for coming on. Really,
all right.
a pleasure.
Best to all the Tek Wars family out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis.
All right. Take care.